Hello, first graders. I'm going to do some vocabulary words with you today from our book Chrysanthemum. So Chrysanthemum was the book that we are reading this week, and Miss Heather is reading it with you, and I'm going to do some vocabulary words with you so that you know some of those tricky words that are in the story. So we're going to start with the word miserable. So miserable means very sad or unhappy. And this word is in our Chrysanthemum book. And here is a picture of a girl, maybe with her grandpa, and she's crying and she's miserable. She needs love, she needs a hug to get happy, right? She's unhappy and she's very sad. So that is what miserable means. We're going to look in our Chrysanthemum book because miserable is in two spots in our book. And so the first page that has miserable is right here. And it says, "I wish I could," thought Chrysanthemum miserably. And so she has a sad face and she is not happy, okay? Because there's friends that don't like her name and it makes her feel sad, okay? And then on another page, it says miserable again. So right here it says, "I just cannot believe your name," Victoria said as the students lined up to go home. "Neither can I," thought Chrysanthemum miserably. So she's not happy with Victoria making fun of her. And so she's very sad and miserable. So those were the two spots that had miserable in Chrysanthemum. The next word we're going to talk about is the word, give me just a second. Possession. Possession. Wow, that's a big word, isn't it? So we have the word right here, possession. Possession is something that belongs to someone, so it's yours, possession. So there's a picture of a boy here that has all of his belongings on the shelf, and he's got all sorts of things, his books, his toys, his trophies, and he has a microscope in his hand, and all of these things are his possessions. A possession is something that belongs to someone. So let's look in our book Chrysanthemum and see where we find that word. So we've got it on this page here. Let's see. So she's here. Chrysanthemum's here, and she is in the rain, and it says, "She loaded the pockets with her most prized possessions and her good luck charms." So she has all her possessions in her pocket. And that's where we saw that word in Chrysanthemum. And then I am going to talk about another word. It is beam. So beam means smile, a big, big smile, beam. So these girls here are playing with a puzzle and they are beaming with joy. It means smile, a big, big smile, and that's showing that you're beaming with joy. Okay, so in our book Chrysanthemum, let's see where we find beam. So it's on this page here, I think. Here. Okay, so on this page, Chrysanthemum is sad. She feels lonely. And then she hears something and it makes her happy. Down here, there's some pictures of her beaming, a big smile. So it says, Chrysanthemum could scarcely believe her ears. She blushed, she beamed, and she bloomed. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. She's feeling much better. She's not sad anymore. She's not miserable, and she's beaming with happiness. All right, our last word is humorous. Humorous means funny. So there's a clown here and he's doing all sorts of tricks. So he is humorous. People would look at all his tricks and say, oh my gosh, that's so funny and humorous. Humorous means funny. And in the book, we have the word humorous. I'm going to tell you about where it is. And so let's see, here on this page, it says, "What's so humorous?" asked Mrs. Twinkle. "Chrysanthemum," was the answer. "Her name is so long," said Joe. So they're making fun of Chrysanthemum's name. And Mrs. Twinkle says, "What's so humorous?" And because they're giggling and they're laughing and they're teasing Chrysanthemum. And so that's the word humorous here in the story. All right, so I went over all of our words. We have humorous, humorous, which means funny. We have miserable, which means very sad or unhappy. And we have beam, which means beaming with a big, huge smile. And then we have the word possession, which means belongings of someone. Those are all his belongings, his possessions. Thank you for joining me today for vocabulary. I hope that you learned a lot, and I will see you next vocabulary lesson.